Welcome to Zodiac Attraction, Scorpio. Your reading for today, May 10th, 2026, carries the electric charge of a second chance, the quiet thunder of intuition awakening, and a financial shift that asks you to soften your grip on scarcity. Something that once slipped through your fingers is circling back, and your gut has already felt it coming. Today, the universe returns what was taken, not as it was, but transformed. A job that rejected you, a home that fell through, a connection that dissolved into silence. Whatever left you hollow is approaching again, polished by time and changed by experience. You are not the same person who lost it, and neither is the opportunity. Your water sign intuition is blazing at full volume right now, and every instinct tells you this arrival is different. Where others might urge caution, your inner compass screams yes. Trust that frequency. It has never led you astray, and it will not start today. The emotional architecture of this day centers on reclamation. You have been carrying the weight of a no that once broke your structures, a denial that forced you to rebuild from ash. But ash fertilizes. What returns now carries the nutrients of that growth. Whether it manifests as a message from someone who once offered crumbs instead of feast, or a professional door swinging open after years of silence, the theme is identical. You are being handed the pen to rewrite an ending. The pride that once armored both sides has dissolved. What approaches comes with clarity, with balance, with the humility of someone who finally understands what they risked losing. Financially, the energy shifts from stagnation to flow. Abundance is not about hoarding every coin out of fear. It is about recognizing that generosity and trust are themselves magnetic forces. If money has been a source of anxiety, today invites you to loosen the fist slightly. Not recklessly, but consciously. Help where you can. Invest in what moves you forward. The universe responds to circulation, and your economic landscape is ready to breathe again. Emotionally, expect a communication that alters the trajectory of your week. It may arrive suddenly, via text or call or unexpected encounter, carrying the speed of the Knight of Swords and the healing balm of Temperance. This is not chaos, it is destiny correcting its course. Someone who once toggled between devotion and selfishness is stepping forward with singular purpose. Whether you choose to meet them is yours to decide, but recognize the rarity of an approach stripped of ego and masks. Today asks you to feel before you think. Your soul already knows the answer to every question rising in your chest. Let it lead. The stars are not promising perfection, they are promising alignment. And alignment, Scorpio, is where your real power lives. Step forward unafraid. The smile returning to your face is written in the sky. Let's see what the tarot has in store for you today. Scorpio, today the universe is pulling back the curtain on what you've only sensed in the dark. There's a current running beneath your still waters. Transformation isn't coming, it's already here, and your intuition has been screaming it for weeks. Card 1, Death. This is your card, Scorpio, and it arrives not to frighten, but to liberate. A chapter is closing with the finality of a door clicking shut, and you feel it in your bones. Something you thought would define you forever is dissolving. Perhaps an attachment that turned toxic, a job that drained your mystery, or a version of yourself you've outgrown. Don't claw at the coffin lid. The rebirth on the other side is already breathing. Card 2, the Moon. Your natural habitat, but tonight the shadows are shifting. Confusion wraps around a connection like fog. You can't tell if they're pulling away or preparing to dive deeper. Your mind invents monsters where there may only be vulnerability. Someone is hiding their emotions behind indifference, mirroring your own protective instincts. Trust what you feel, not what you see. The truth surfaces when you stop interrogating the dark. Card 3, the Lovers. A crossroads carved in fire. A choice approaches that will realign your entire trajectory, possibly involving a proposal you never anticipated, or a union that demands you drop your armor. This isn't about romance alone. It's about values colliding and merging. Someone who once kept you at arm's length now recognizes you as the only option worth fighting for. The hesitation you sense isn't rejection, it's the terror of wanting something sacred. Card 4, the Seven of Swords. Deception circles your perimeter. Not necessarily from your person, though a misguided advisor may be whispering poison in their ear, but from your own tendency to strategize love like warfare. You've been stealing glances, hiding intentions, playing it cool while your heart pounds through your chest. The strategy collapses today. Authenticity is your only weapon now, and it's sharper than any secret you could keep. Card 5, the 10 of Pentacles. The long game reveals itself. This isn't a fleeting spark, but a legacy in the making. Financial stability arriving through unexpected channels, a family dynamic healing, or a commitment that anchors your wandering intensity. The ancestor energy here is strong. You're building something that outlasts your own obsessions. The money, the home, the partnership, they're not separate threads, but one woven tapestry. Scorpio, the reading converges on a single truth. You've been bracing for loss when you should be preparing to receive. The death of old fears creates vacuum enough for love and prosperity to rush in simultaneously. Stop surveilling the exits. Someone is fighting their way toward you through their own thicket of doubt, and your only task is to remain unshakably, terrifyingly open. The transformation you crave begins the moment you drop the act. Now we will tell you how it will go with money and luck. But first, remember to give us a like, subscribe to the channel, and activate notifications. This helps us a lot, and so you never miss your daily reading. Money and luck. A financial shift is stirring beneath the surface, one that rewards the patience you've been forced to exercise. Resources that felt frozen begin to crack open, not through reckless gambling, but through a door you didn't realize you'd already unlocked. Someone with influence may extend an offer that seems modest at first glance. Look closer. The real value lies in the access it provides, the network it opens, the leverage it quietly places in your hands. Your relationship with abundance is undergoing a quiet revolution. Where you once equated security with control, you're learning that true prosperity breathes and moves. Today asks you to loosen your grip just enough to let circulation happen. An unexpected expense may arise, but treat it as energy moving through your life rather than a leak in your vessel. The mindset shift from scarcity to flow is more valuable than any single transaction. Caution arrives not in the form of obvious danger, but in the seduction of quick fixes. A proposition that promises instant returns deserves your signature skepticism. Read the fine print with your characteristic intensity, and trust the instinct that tells you when something is too polished to be honest. The luck you build today is slow, structural, and permanent. The tarot gives you your lucky number. Your lucky numbers for May 10 are 13, 39, 74, 19, 31, 53. Daily love. The heart you guard so fiercely is beating louder than you pretend, and someone is finally hearing the signal through the static. Emotional walls that once served as protection have become prisons, and today offers a key you didn't expect. A conversation that begins casually may pivot into territory that leaves you exposed, in the best possible way. Let it. The vulnerability you offer is not weakness, but the ultimate test of authenticity. For those entangled in connection, the dynamic is shifting from performance to presence. You've both been playing roles, distant, indifferent, untouchable, and the exhaustion is mutual. Today cracks that script open. A gesture, perhaps clumsy and unplanned, reveals what grand declarations never could. Pay attention to what happens in the silences, the glances held too long, the text drafted and deleted. The truth lives in those interstitial spaces. If you're navigating the ache of separation or uncertainty, know that the indifference you perceive is often a mask for terror. Someone is wrestling with the magnitude of what they feel, and their retreat is not rejection, but overwhelm. Your instinct may be to sting, to protect yourself with preemptive withdrawal. Resist. Hold your ground with quiet confidence and let them cross the distance to you. The love that survives this tension is forged, not found. At work, professional momentum is building, but it demands that you step out of the shadows where you've grown comfortable. A project or role that once felt like a safe harbor now reveals itself as a holding pattern, and the restlessness is unmistakable. Today brings clarity about where your true leverage lies, not in your ability to endure, but in your capacity to transform what you touch. The work that excites you may not yet exist in your current structure. Consider building it yourself. Collaboration is tested today by the presence of voices that don't have your best interests at heart. Gossip, subtle undermining, or advice dressed as concern, these are the poisons circulating in your professional sphere. Your discernment is your greatest asset now. Listen more than you speak. Observe who benefits from your doubt, and align yourself with the one person who demonstrates loyalty through action rather than words. They are your unexpected ally. Creative output surges when you stop censoring the intensity that defines you. The ideas you've shelved for being too dark, too complex, too much, they are precisely what the moment calls for. Leadership today doesn't look like commanding a room. It looks like owning your vision without apology. A breakthrough is possible, but only if you're willing to be misunderstood before you're celebrated. The work that matters always is.
Physical vitality is tethered to emotional release in ways you can't intellectualize away. The tension you've been carrying in your shoulders, your jaw, your sleep, these are transcripts of what you haven't said. Today offers an opportunity to discharge that stored electricity through movement that demands your full presence. Not gentle stretching, but something that requires surrender. A run until your mind quiets. A swim where breath becomes the only thought. A dance alone in a dark room. Mental clarity arrives when you stop rehearsing conversations that may never happen. The obsessive loops that have been consuming your energy are not problem solving. They are avoidance of the present moment. Ground yourself in sensory experience, the weight of your body against a chair, the temperature of water against your skin, the sound of your own breathing. These anchors pull you back from the labyrinth of what-ifs into the only moment where choice exists. Emotional wellness asks for a new habit today, one that feels almost foreign in its gentleness. Where you typically dissect your feelings with surgical precision, try simply naming them and letting them pass through. Not every emotion requires a postmortem. Sleep may come easier if you release the day's narratives rather than filing them for future analysis. Your regeneration is sacred. Protect it with the same ferocity you protect everything else that matters.
Family and friends, home dynamics are shifting, and the change may arrive as news that rearranges your sense of place. A family member's announcement, a sudden opportunity involving relocation, or simply the realization that your current space no longer fits the person you're becoming. These are the tremors signaling larger movement. Don't rush to stabilize what is meant to evolve. The discomfort of transition is preferable to the numbness of stagnation. Generational patterns surface today with unusual clarity, particularly around how love was expressed or withheld in your lineage. You may catch yourself mirroring a parent's defensive posture or recreating a dynamic you swore you'd escape. This awareness is not a condemnation, but a liberation. You have the power to interrupt the inheritance, to choose a different response when triggered, to offer the warmth that was once missing. The healing you create ripples backward and forward in time. Close relationships within your household or chosen family require honest conversation about boundaries that have been blurred. Someone has been taking more than they give, or you've been withholding out of fear of being drained. Today favors the direct approach, wrapped in compassion. State your needs without accusation, listen without preparing your defense, and trust that the bonds worth keeping can withstand the truth. The family that grows together is the one willing to have the hard talks. Compatibility. Taurus grounds today's volatile energy with an unshakable presence that you find both irritating and irresistible. Their steadiness challenges your urge to destroy and rebuild, offering instead the possibility of building something that lasts. Where you spiral, they stand firm. Where they stagnate, you catalyze. The friction is productive if you resist the temptation to test their loyalty through provocation. Cancer meets you in the emotional depths where few signs dare to swim. Today's intensity finds a mirror in their intuitive nature, creating a private language that excludes the rest of the world. They see through your armor not because they're trying to dismantle it, but because they recognize the same protective instincts in themselves. Together, you create a sanctuary, though you must guard against the mutual tendency to withdraw when overwhelmed. Capricorn offers the structural support your transformation requires, bringing strategy to your passion and patience to your urgency. Their ambition complements your drive without competing for dominance, and today's professional themes resonate strongly between you. They may seem emotionally reserved, but their loyalty proves itself through consistent action rather than dramatic declarations. The respect you build together becomes the foundation for something enduring. Your lucky color today, deep crimson, carries the blood pulse of transformation and the unapologetic intensity that defines your current state. The phrase of the day: "And the day came when the risk to remain tight in a bud was more painful than the risk it took to blossom." Thank you so much for spending this moment with me. Remember, the stars can guide your way, but only you have the power to walk it and make it amazing. If this reading resonated with you, I'd love it if you could like, subscribe, and leave a comment. I truly enjoy hearing from you. I'll see you tomorrow, right here on Zodiac Attraction, where we'll continue discovering your incredible destiny together. Until then, keep shining.